If you're a YouTuber or content creator, Prime Day is one of the best times to level up your gear without breaking the bank. We sorted through hundreds of deals to highlight the ones that are actually worth it. So Craig, let's dive into our couple of our favorites.
Awesome, Nate. So the first deal that I have for us for this year's Prime Day is this SmallRig phone vlog selfie monitor. And what's cool about this is you can mirror your phone's screen. I actually have it right here. And I just recorded this week a dedicated review about this little unit, and it comes with like a little vlog stick as well, mini tripod. So you can mirror your phone's screen, which then allows you to use the rear facing camera, and then you can like view yourself more properly, which is such a nice tool. I've loved using this and incorporating it into my YouTube videos that I film with my phone lately. So big fan of this deal, only $58. The second deal, which I'll cover really quick, is my favorite wireless mic system that I've used over the last year, which is the Holyland Lark M2. We've talked about this a ton on the Think Media channel before, but the combo kit is normally $119 and it's on sale for $95. So 25% off for Prime. That's gonna get you 2 wireless transmitters, so you can mic up yourself and a talent if you'd like, as well as 3 different types of wireless receivers. So you can send your audio to a camera device, like a 3.5 millimeter device, or USB-C for newer iPhones and Android devices, or even your laptop, and then also lightning adapters. So if you're on an older iPhone, you can use this basically with any system. So I love this mic. I have it actually right here. I use it all the time. So those are my top 2 picks. Nate, I know you have a different microphone that you wanted to talk about as well.
So my favorite wireless mic at the moment is the DJI Mic Mini, and if you get the 1 transmitter and 1 receiver, it is 20% off, so $71 for this great kit. You can also pick up a single transmitter if you already have something like the Osmo Pocket 3 or an Action 5 Pro, and that is $47. So great little microphone to pick up. The next deal, and this is probably one of my favorites out of this whole Prime Day, is the Elgato Prompter. So much so that both Craig and I are actually using this prompter right now as we are streaming. Helps us to see each other as well as look at our notes. And I use this all the time for recording my scripts. 37% off, $190. So crazy savings there. And then one last savings is if you are looking to speed up your editing, get a new MacBook Air 3 for 15% off at $850. This is the base model, so it only has 256 gigs of storage, but stay tuned because we have a lot more SSD options and deals, so stay tuned for that. Now let's get into a few different categories, starting off with cameras. Craig, take us away with our first deal.
Absolutely. So first camera that we have is something we've talked about for years now. I think this thing came out in like 2021, maybe 2020, around there. So the original Sony ZV-E10. This is 14% off right now, $648 for body only. So you're gonna have to pair that with a lens as well. And there is like a kit that comes with a kit lens that is still on sale as well. So you can check out these couple of different variations. But for the most part, this Sony ZV-E10 is going to get you everything you need for your YouTube needs. So you can shoot in 4K video up to 30 frames per second. So this will work great for talking head style videos like Nate and I are doing, for live streaming, web calls, all sorts of things. So we love this camera. It continues to be our #1 best-selling camera for our affiliates. So all that means is like YouTube, like our YouTube audience loves this camera. They continue to keep purchasing it. So we'll keep recommending it because it is solving people's problems.
If you're wanting a little bit more of an upgrade, there is the ZV-E1 also on sale. Now, what's interesting is Sony has actually had a price increase of all their cameras. So right now it is a little bit more expensive than it used to be, but right now you can get it 13% off, as well as you can earn 10% cash back if you're using the Prime credit card. So there is some savings to be had here. And this camera in particular, I've been using to shoot my YouTube videos, and it's worked fantastic. There are a few other cameras on this list, such as the ZV-1F, which Craig, I know you used briefly, did a review.
Yeah, 20% off. If you want to check out the ZV-1F more in depth and some of the pros and cons, because it is their most affordable camera that you can purchase new. So it's usually under $500, around 500 bucks. So this is $448, so it actually is on sale. And the issue with this is sometimes you're going to get some weird like autofocus issues at times, but in other instances, it works totally fine. So it actually is a pretty beautiful image. It's a fixed lens, so it's a fixed like 20 millimeter focal range. So it's gonna give you a nicer, a little bit more of a wide field of view. Actually, kind of like the equivalent of what you see right now from my shot is about a 20 millimeter field of view. So a wider shot. The issue though for like photographers is it doesn't have raw photo capabilities. Like you can only shoot JPEGs. So truly, we'll link down in the description below our full length review of the Sony ZV-1F to see if it's right for you, because it is right for some people, but it clearly is not right for other people. So just something you want to be aware of.
And our last mirrorless camera on the list is the Sony FX30, which is 10% off, $1,750. Again, it's a little bit more expensive since they've increased their prices, but if you're still looking for a great and super capable camera, the FX30 is pretty hard to beat.
So now we'll talk about a few action style cameras. So these have a little bit different use cases, but you can use them for things like vlogging or, travel vlogs, or if you like nature stuff, going hiking, swimming, all these kinds of things. You can use them for multiple purposes. So the first camera that is on sale is the DJI Osmo Action 4. So now they are on the Action 5 at this point, and I believe Nate has done reviews on the Action 5. I have the Action 4 here. I have not upgraded to the Action 5 yet. I haven't felt the need to, but Action 4 is on sale, 30% off, $209. You're gonna get 4K video, really stable footage, 10-bit D-Log-M color performance. So lots of great stuff out of the Action 4.
There are a couple other action cameras if you want to go the GoPro route. There's the Hero 13 Black, which is the latest GoPro, 23% off at $330. We have a whole comparison going between the Action 5 Pro and the Hero 13 Black if you want to check that out in the description down below. We also have the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, which is an 8K action camera. So maybe if you want a little bit more higher resolution in your action cam footage, this is also on sale, 18% off. And then lastly, in terms of our action cameras, is the Insta360 Go 3S. This is a super fun camera if you want to mount it onto you. If you want a wearable camera that if you're doing hands-free POV, this is a pretty fun camera to have. There is a couple different options in terms of storage size, 128 and 64 gigs. I think it's like a $20 difference, so I highly recommend getting the higher storage. So 20% off, $344 for the latest Insta360 Go 3S.
Okay, so transitioning away from action cameras into some more dedicated webcams. So if you're somebody who likes to sit at a workstation like this at your desk, or you have like a battle station where you make all your YouTube content, a webcam might actually be one of the best choices for a plug and play solution. And they're oftentimes actually really affordable. So the first option for a webcam that we have here is the Insta360 Link 2. And we also have the Link 2C as well. So the Link 2 comes with a little sort of like gimbal AI tracking module that is actually like hardware. So it twists like left and right, and it can track you in a room, which is kind of a cool feature, but you are paying like an extra $50 for that. And in my use cases that I've used this, I actually just used the original Link 2C, which is also on sale, for $99. And that doesn't come with the hardware that kind of like moves left and right and swivels. It's just stationary. So, but for me, that's all I needed it for. I just needed to upgrade my webcam on my MacBook Pro, and it's such a better image. It's a 4K webcam. It also comes with some software too, where you can like blur your background or change your background into a different environment. So some high quality recording software and even some effects that come with these Insta360 products. And it's gonna get you a lot better image quality than using your built-in webcam, but it's not gonna set you back as much as it would for even an action camera or a mirrorless camera would.
For our next category, we're going to dive into some camera lenses, starting off with Canon. This is on sale, the RFS 10 to 18 millimeter. If you're looking for a vlogging lens, let's say you have the R50 or the new R50V, this is a great option if you want just to get a super wide angle. It also has image stabilization, which is nice if you are handheld. This is 26% off, $260. So this makes it a great little option. So this next deal is for a lens that I actually use for my YouTube videos. It is the Viltrox 16mm f1.8. This is a full frame lens, and this gives you such a wide angle shot while still allowing you to have a shallow depth of field. So this is super cool for my desk setup, and this is currently 20% off, $464. Again, a great little option if you are looking to get super wide on full frame. And if you are looking for something equivalent for APS-C, there is the Viltrox 13mm, which is even cheaper, 20% off at $388.
And if you want some lenses that are even more budget, we have 3 more lenses from Viltrox that are all on sale. The first is the Viltrox 20mm f2.8 lens. This is actually a full frame lens. It's on sale for $140. So all that means is you can use these lenses for both full frame cameras and APS-C cameras, which is so cool. So if you have, you know, a smaller camera body, you can still use this lens, and it's only 140 bucks, and that's going to get you that 20 millimeter field of view on full frame. Additionally, they have a 40 millimeter f2.5 lens if you want a little bit of a tighter shot. And this is almost the exact same size as the 20 millimeter. I have both of these lenses and I love using them. The image quality is really solid, especially considering the money. And then there's one more lens, the Viltrox 50 millimeter lens. This is an f2 lens, and this is, you're getting out there towards like kind of like a mid-range telephoto lens. So this is going to be really nice for portraits or like talking head YouTube style videos. If you want a more blurry background, this is going to be a really great option for you.
So Craig, something that often creators overlook is the power of lighting. Having good lights can make your videos look better regardless of your camera. And so here are a couple different options that are on sale and will definitely level up your production value. Starting off with the Elgato Key Light. This is awesome if you're streaming at a desk, filming YouTube videos because you don't have a lot of space to put a big, huge softbox. So the Elgato Key Light is 26% off. This comes included with a stand, and it has this little bit of diffusion to help kind of soften things up. Now, don't expect to get softbox quality light, but it's definitely nice if you are streaming in front of the computer and you just need to brighten things up. And then the next light we have is this Neewer 2-pack 660 RGB. So this comes with two lights that are capable of doing RGB color as well as normal daylight and bicolor options. I've actually used this kit when I was starting out my YouTube videos, and it is definitely nice if you want to throw some color on your background or even be lit through one of these. So this is 43% off, $189. Great to have two lights for your studio. And I also want to mention that Amaran is having a discount on their lights as well, and there are several that we recommend, but to quickly highlight a few, I like the 100DS for most studio setups. This gives you 100 watts of power, and then if you want something a little bit cheaper, you can move to the Amaran 60DS. This has the option to battery power this light, so if you need something perhaps a little bit more portable, it's also a little bit cheaper at 135. And then if you want something that has RGB capabilities, their new 150C gives you both RGB as well as bicolor options. I actually used this to shoot a music video and it was awesome to use. And then if you want something perhaps a little bit more portable, they have the Amaran MC. This is just a handheld pocket LED light that has RGB capabilities, again, normal daylight as well. And this is great if you want to do a little product video or even use it as a backlight for your hair. I use this all the time. It's $72, 20% off. And then perhaps one of my favorite lights from Amaran is the Accent B7C. And you can actually see it right here. I actually have it in this lamp. I can control the color, the brightness. It's so awesome to have your room fully dialed in with the exact color you want. And then if you want to use something with your smartphone, you can use the Amaran Go, which is a nice little light that allows you to flip it up. You can use it for selfie mode, flip it back if you just want to get a nice little bit of fill light for your videos.
Now, we already mentioned a couple microphones at the beginning that are great deals, but we'll reiterate a few other options here as well. But we did already mention the Hollyland Lark M2 is a great deal, $95, but the Hollyland Lark M2S is another option. So this is a different variant. It kind of is similar audio quality and performance to the Lark M2, but it's a more lapel style microphone where you clip it to your collar and you wear the mic rather than like magnetize it onto your shirt. So a different sort of style, and it's a little bit more expensive. It's $119 on sale, but there's also different variations. I'll show you here. There's like the M2S for cameras, or for USB-C devices is only $95. So different ways and versions of this microphone that you could look into depending on what your specific use case is. We already mentioned the DJI Mic Mini, killer deal, $71, and it comes with the receiver and one transmitter. So that is hard to beat that. I mean, for the audio quality that you're getting and the price, such a great deal. And the last mic we wanted to mention is the Fifine AM8, and they have some different versions that you can purchase this mic in, but this one comes with a boom arm for like podcasting or live streaming, and then you can just clip that directly onto your desk, and then you're going to get really rich audio quality. I actually did a video where I included this microphone in a live stream setup, and I compared it to my $500 Shure SM7DB, and you almost could not tell the difference in audio quality, which is wild because this mic costs like a tenth of the price. So we highly recommend the Fifine AM8 if you're just starting out and want to start a podcast.
Moving on to our next category, which is headphones, and something that I'm actually using right now is the AirPods Pro 2. These things are 40% off right now, $149. And what's crazy about this is not only do they sound great when you are on the go, but Apple is going to be rolling out a feature that allows you to use the microphones as you are recording your video and get really high quality. So that's something cool to come. This feature is also going to be rolling out to the AirPods 4, which is $120 right now, 34% off. So both great options if you are looking for some wireless headphones. There's also the Beats Solo 4, which is an on-ear solution, which is right now 51% off, a total of $98. Lastly, on the headphones, if you're looking for some true studio monitor headphones for previewing your audio as well as editing, the classic Sony MDR 7506. I've used these headphones all the time back in video production. Currently, they're 17% off, so a great little deal if you want to pick that up.
Okay, shifting gears into some storage solutions. What's more fun than talking about storage, Nate, right? There's like nothing more fun than, okay, anyways. Some storage solutions for creators would be the Lexar 128 gigabytes. There's a 2-pack right now for only $51. So this is going to give you 256 gigs total of storage for your cameras. So we love Lexar cards. Nate, you actually use these cards, right?
Yep, I am shooting with one right now. I have a handful here. These are great. They're such an affordable solution. And also having 2 of these SD cards allows you to swap them out so you don't lose everything on one card. These have held up, and the fact that they're only $52 for 2 is a killer deal.
Yep, and these are rated V60, and so just depending on what camera you have, you might have different specifications. Like if you're shooting on a really high-end Sony FX3 or FX6, there's times that you might need like a V90 card. So just check on what camera you're using, and then you can get the appropriate SD card, but these are a really viable option.
Next up, we have an external SSD. This is great for storing all your videos on if you want to edit from these. We actually use the Samsung T7s, and this one is a 4 terabyte that is 37% off, so only $220 for 4 terabytes of storage. Going to hold plenty of your projects if you are looking for an editing solution. They could also pick up the Samsung T9, which is also on sale. This one's a 2 terabyte, so a little bit less storage, but it also has much faster read and write speeds, which might be important for you depending on what you're editing. So this is 43% off, a great deal as well.
So those are some SSD solutions, which are great for editing projects from. But if you want some long-term storage where you could store a bunch of data for months or even years, you could look at something like this. This is a Western Digital 14 terabyte desktop external hard drive. So it's going to be a lot slower for read and write speeds, but this is great so that you can, record content on your SD cards, and then you could move that content to your SSDs while you're editing your project. And once your projects are over, you can shift them to long-term storage, which is way more affordable. Something like this Western Digital 14 terabyte drive is a great option. And maybe someday we'll do a full video on like hard drive workflow, because I know some of you have asked about it, and Nate and I can do that.
Now, if you're looking to upgrade your computer, there are a few different solutions from Apple, starting off with their MacBook Air. This is their 13-inch M4 chip laptop. So this is the latest MacBook Air, currently 15% off, a total of $850. If you are looking to get up and running, just investing in a laptop, this is a solid option. But if you need a little bit more power, they have the MacBook Pro with the M4 Pro chip. This is $1,800 for a total of 10% off. And this is also a killer deal, the M4 Mac Mini. This thing is a tiny little desktop computer that's just right on top of your desk. It is already 9% off, $500 to $45, but then you can apply a coupon for $45 off. So roughly $500 for this tiny, powerful machine. Just pair that with a monitor and a keyboard and mouse, and you're all good to go. But perhaps you want an all-in-one solution. They sell the iMac with the screen, keyboard, and mouse for 12% off, currently at $1149.
So we do have a few phone accessories for you mobile phone creators out there. So the first is this simple phone tripod. It's really easy, comes with a nice little mount that you can mount your phone to. And you could use it as more like a selfie stick if you want. You could extend it out if you're a vlogger, you want to go selfie mode. That's a way that you could use this. Or you could put this on the ground or a tabletop, raise it up to your eye level, and use this as a pretty standard tripod. We also have the DJI Osmo Mobile 7P, which Nate has done a fabulous review on if you want to check that out. I've actually included it into some other reviews as well. So we've talked about this a lot. It's a great gimbal solution for you smartphone creators. It's our favorite option right now, and it's 16% off. This is actually a killer deal, $125 for one of the best gimbals that you can purchase right now for smartphones. So you can check this out. And then finally, there is another storage solution for you smartphone creators. There is this SanDisk 1TB creator phone SSD. So it's kind of like a portable SSD for your phone. It actually also uses MagSafe if you want to attach it to the back of your smartphone like that, and then you can plug your phone directly into the SSD, and now you have a mobile solution for storage options to increase the capacity of your phone.
Now, this also includes 1 month of Adobe Creative Cloud. So if you want to mess with Premiere Pro or Photoshop, you have that option included with this SSD. And speaking of Adobe, we have some discounts on software, starting off with the Adobe Creative Cloud. This comes included with a 1TB plan. Now, this is for Photoshop and Lightroom specifically, a 12-month subscription. This is 46% off. So instead of paying monthly, you can actually just purchase a whole year. This actually would make a great Christmas gift to someone who is just getting started at YouTube. This is a fantastic option. Now, if you want to get their entire suite, not just Photoshop, you can actually get their whole Creative Cloud. Again, 12 months, 40% off, total of $400. So this is going to save you quite a bit of money over the course of a year. Now, special bonus is if you are a student or an educator, you do have that discount on top of a Prime deal discount at 34%. So you can have, again, all the Creative Clouds for just under $160. Now, we just barely scratched the surface across all these deals, and actually will be more linked in the description down below. But if you want just the best deals under $100, then be sure to check out this video where we're going to do all the Prime deals under $100. So if you're on a budget, that video will help you out.